don't know if Prodigy's still in here, but it looks like Jeff Please was the first commentator. So what's up, Jeff? Red Sox Digest. Not sure if you're in here. What's going on? Dragon Productions, formerly known as Doogie Productions. How are you? Prodigy, I assume he'll stop by at some point, so I'll say hi when he gets into the chat. I saw Mr. Money Mike Madness is in the building. How you doing, Mike? QB just getting off of practice. Anthony gifted a membership right away to Michael Davey. Can we get some claps in the chat for Anthony? Anthony is always the man. Thank you, Anthony. What's up, Mr. Bob Dylan? How are you, my friend? Castle Crusher, Fran from New York. What's going on, Mr. New York? Jackson, we back. We always back, baby. Yeah, Otani ain't coming here. What's up, Queen? I wouldn't get too excited about Otani. Peter, how are you, my friend? Anthony, how are you? JB from Wakefield. How you doing? How you doing, Jay? How you doing, Jay? I'm a little melancholy tonight, chat. I feel like that's the right word. I'm a little melancholy tonight, chat. Cam Wagner becoming a member. Thank you so much, Cam. Must have happened off stream. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you're in here tonight, but I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm a little melancholy tonight, chat, and I'll tell you why in a second. I think it's because we only have 2 of these left. We only have 2 of these left, and then we are into the off season. The 2023 Red Sox team is coming to an end. What's up, Prodigy? What's up, Genetic? Corn on the Cob. That was my nickname in high school. Corb on the Cob. I actually like Corb on the Cob better. I was called Corn in high school for a while. What's up, Frost? Yep, that was my nickname. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad. I'm a little bit sad the Red Sox, even if they suck, even if they're mathematically eliminated, they will be in 4 days, 3 days, somewhere around there. Hoping this game saves my day. I hope it is too, Jackson. This season flew by. It really did. It really did flow by, man. It's been crazy. Is Yamamoto a top free agent or Otani? I go Yamamoto, but hey, if Shohei Otani comes to the Boston Red Sox, is anyone really complaining? What's up, Maddie? I think that was last stream. I think it was Versatility last stream. You see him in here. Say hi. After the Steelers game last night, I learned anything's possible. Anything is possible. Unfortunately, the Red Sox playoff odds are not possible. Wasn't Otani at Logan Airport today? I don't think so. If he was, it was to go to Japan to get his surgery, I think. I don't know. When was last stream? Last Wednesday. Otani value went down. It did go down. He might sign for a little bit less money, but we'll see. We'll see. I think, honestly, I was thinking about Otani, right? I think we're going to see a lot of really interesting contract constructions. That's the word I'm looking for. Contract constructions with Otani, and I think we're going to see. I actually think a couple of different people are going to come out with what their contract was. And I think whoever signs them, it's going to be really interesting, right? Do they put in a stipulation that, hey, look, we understand you're one of the league's best DHs, but are you going to take $20 million a year for the first year and then $40 million a year for every year that you are a pitcher and a hitter, and then once you decide on both, you go back to $20 million a year? You know what I mean? Do I know what surgery he got? I think he got his Tommy John surgery today. I think that's what it was. I think it was Tommy John. What does that mean for Turner? Yeah, if we got Otani, Turner wouldn't be coming back. I don't know how many years I would give Otani. I think I'd give him 8 years. Because, that's going to be a lot of money to invest in one player, right? It's going to be tough to find anyone in the game of baseball who's going to give him 10, 15 years like I think a lot of people are expecting, because I don't know if there's a GM out there that's going to take that risk. I also don't think there's going to be an owner out there that's going to take that risk. I think about it, right? 11 years for a guy who we back on Tuesdays now. There's one more stream after this. The only reason I didn't do Wednesday this week is the game's at 2 p.m. So make it a little bit difficult to stream considering I have a job. There we go. I felt like my camera was off center for a little bit. I think we fixed it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are expecting this $600 million, 15-year contract. And it could happen, right? There could be a team out there. I mean, look what happened with Xander, right? There could be a team out there that gets desperate, that wants a big splash, that wants a big name, and does give them, a crazy amount of years for a crazy amount of money. But I just think sensible ownerships, right? Sensible ownerships aren't going to want to do that. Trade Yovera. Yovera's been good. Kluber's a free agent, so that doesn't matter. We could do lives, not necessarily games. Yeah, we're going to do a live every other week during the off season. Every other week we'll be doing a live. It'll probably just be like a red seat hot stove type thing. We go over your hot takes. We talk about what's going on with the off season, where everything's at and stuff like that. What about Brandon Gomes as the Sox GM? I'd love it. I don't know if he's going to go away from... got to make this Corbin's full-time job. Yeah. First day of free agency. When is that? It's a day after the World Series, right? It kind of depends. My anniversary with my girlfriend is the... Oh, man, I don't want to get this wrong. It's the 8th. I don't want to get that wrong. Of November, which is usually right around when the World Series end. Yeah, but that's for members only, Mike. Speaking of that, members only live stream is going to be next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, members only live stream. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, my girlfriend and I's it's our 6-year anniversary this year. Yeah, 6 years. So I don't know if that'll fall on the same exact day as free agency. It was last year, so we'll see. We have to focus on pitching. Yeah, we need to focus on pitching big time. That needs to be. I mean, it's going to be the focus of the offseason. If it's not, right, someone failed. Someone didn't do their job, and we'll see. We'll see kind of where they focus on in the offseason. It really depends on who gets brought in, right? That's sort of everything's up in the air right now. And we talked about it last live stream, the day Chaim Bloom got fired, right? Where it's really, I mean, genuinely, it's difficult, right? Because we don't know. That'd be pretty cool, Pac-Man. I don't know what we'll see. We'll turn to retire, probably, definitely not after this year. You work until 10, all good, Pac-Man. We'll be here. Yeah, Chris Sale's got a club option after 24. So, I mean, what's up, Mark? Which means, yeah, he's gone, right? The Red Sox would be absolutely ridiculously dumb to pick up the rest of that contract. Because I think it's 2 more years. What's up, Wes? You want Seth Lugo really bad? I mean, but he's not. See, the Red Sox don't need any more back-end starters. You essentially have 4 right now, right? You essentially have 4 back-end starters. You've got Cutter, you've got Pavetta, you've got Houck, you've got Sale for another year. Yeah, so that's 4 right there to put between 4 and 5, right? You need the top of the rotation. Seth Lugo isn't exactly a top of the rotation type guy. Right, he's a good hybrid. He's a good hybrid player, but we need a real stopper. Right, we need a guy who's going to sit at the top of that line. We need 2 guys who are going to sit at the top of that lineup and scare people. Yeah, Aaron Nola's not a bad one. I mean, he's having a bit of a down year, so maybe you can catch him on a price wise. But I think if you're going to go after Aaron Nola, You're gonna need someone else on top of that, right? Because you can't go like his right now his surface level stats look good, right? He's getting a ton of chases on his pitches, 34.3%, which is better than about 45% of Major League Baseball. Not getting a lot of swings and misses though, which is a bit concerning. And his barrel, hard hit rate, and ground ball rate are all down from last year for Aaron Nola. So I don't know. Blake Snell would be nice. Yeah, I mean, I would go with. I would be happy if they signed Blake Snell. I think, I think a lot of people underestimate Blake Snell because of his age, but if you give him a 5-year contract, that'd be great. Give Yamamoto's going to need more than 150, dude. You're probably looking closer to 200 mil. Yeah, I honestly, Seattle and the Giants really surprised me, honestly. Those are sort of the two dark horses, in my opinion, in the Shohei Ohtani race. I really think the Giants will make a push for it, right? The Giants are almost a playoff team this year, right? And they're really just missing one electric piece, and all of a sudden that's kind of a dangerous team. So that would be an interesting one to me. San Francisco obviously doesn't have to go too far. And then Seattle, yeah, just like everything you said, right? You got the young core, they're fun. That could be a legitimate, what's up, Dennis? That could be a legitimate one. That could be a legitimate contender. Bellinger, I don't know if the Red Sox, it depends, right? I don't know. Is it becoming toxic because of ownership? I don't know about toxic, right? Because you have the opportunity to legitimately win rings here, right? I mean, you're talking about 3 out of the 4 your last GMs have won a ring. And they've gone on to do a lot of great things, right? Dave Dombrowski with the Phillies, Dio, and now whatever he's doing with Major League Baseball. And Cherington kind of disappeared a little bit into Pittsburgh, but there's obviously that fear, right? If you're a GM or you're a CBO or whatever you want to be in the Red Sox organization, there's that fear that, hey, I've got one presidential term to win a World Series, and if I don't, I'm very much out. And even if I do win a World Series, you know, I don't know if that's enough to keep me. That's the problem, right? For any GM, I think that you want to bring over to the Red Sox, and it's going to have to come at a hefty price. People are going to say that. Every single person that's going to... What's up, Salty? Any single person that's going to come in here and talk with the Boston Red Sox is gonna ask, right? They're gonna be like, what about my job security? Especially if you're a guy who's got a cushy position with another team, right? If you're going after a Hazen or a Brandon Gomes or even a James Click who's with and secured in the Toronto Blue Jays system, right? Every single one of those guys, unless obviously you're a guy who's an assistant GM or you know, a scouting development VP or something like that where you want to be at the top, you're just not at the top. If you're not one of those guys, you're coming in here and being like, hey, I'm Chris Antonetti, right? I've been with the Guardians since 1999. If I'm going to make this jump over the Red Sox, like everything's laid out great, how long am I going to be here? How long are you going to allow me the opportunity to produce for your team? And if the answer is we don't know past 4 years, who's going to leave after that? Who's going to leave? You going to Fenway for the first time on Friday? I hope you enjoy it, Mr. Jeff Bezos. Yeah, I bet the Yankees are hard in on Cody Bellinger. What's up, Max? Would you be fine with trading for Josiah Gray? I mean, yeah, he's been a great pitcher for the Nationals. I think it's a guy who you could possibly underratedly slide in. I also don't know if the Nationals would want to. Will Shohei come to Boston? I would say there's like a 2% chance. I don't know if they'll skyrocket. It depends. No, it was not the worst trade in Red Sox history. No. No, it's just the most recent one. It's the most recent big one, right? That's basically it. It's just the biggest, most recent one. And I don't even think that's a total loss for the Red Sox. Yeah, it's Babe Ruth, right? It's very clearly Babe Ruth. Like that's the worst trade in Red Sox history, right? That is, most people consider the greatest baseball player of all time, and you sold him for $100,000 to fund a play, right? That is the worst trade in Red Sox history. It's not even close. No, I don't think so, Jackson. Ellie De La Cruz is a freak, like a super freak, right? Meyer is a great player, and I think has the potential to be a perennial All-Star. But I don't think he's gonna, I don't think people are gonna be clamoring to get in to see him, right? Yeah, Jeff Bagwell's another really bad trade by the Red Sox. Mookie was not the worst trade in Red Sox history. It's recency bias. It wasn't for nobody, David. Come on now. Yeah, Cruz is just this freak. Started watching it in 18. How did we build that pitching core? Mostly trades, mostly free agents. The 2018 core? Man, who was the 2018 core? Evaldi was a trade. Chris Sale was a trade. Eduardo Rodriguez was a trade a while back and then developed in the system. Was it Rick Porcello on that 2018 team? He was a free agent if that was the case. Who was the fifth guy on that rotation? I'm missing someone clearly. Price. Thank you guys. Price. Yeah, that was free agency as well. I don't know how I forgot Price. Yeah, it was so it was Evaldi who was a trade, Sale who was a trade, Eduardo Rodriguez who was a developed kind of, he was a trade from the Orioles a little bit earlier. And then you had Rick Porcello, which was a free agent, I think, right? He wasn't a trade, he was a free agent, and then David Price, who was a free agent. So none of them really was homegrown. No, I don't think they'll make a blockbuster trade for Bobby Witt Jr. That was thrown out there by Sammy James and kind of took traction within Red Sox Nation. It's almost fact. It was more so just him throwing out who he would trade Marcelo Meyer for. Right? He was talking about it wasn't a rumor, it wasn't anything he thinks would happen. So it was just something he threw out there. I don't think Kansas City's given up Bobby Witt Jr. It would be shocking to me. It would be shocking to me if over this offseason particularly. Yeah, King, I agree with you. No, Meyer isn't safe. I would say Meyer, Anthony, Rafaela, Blaze. I don't think there's really anyone in the minor leagues that's safe this offseason. And I think, honestly, it's just depending on who they're going to bring in, right? Are they going to bring in the full-out gunslinger who's ready to blow up the farm to win 2 championships? Or are they going to bring in someone? Yeah, Teal, I think, is the only safe one. That's fair. Blaze is not safe, yeah. Are they going to bring in a gunslinger that's going to come in and he's going to drop his stuff on the table and he's going to go everything to the wall to get a championship? I don't know. Do you think Bogarts misses the Boston clubhouse? I would say yeah, definitely. Cal Quantrill? I wouldn't want Cal Quantrill. That's just sort of an add to the back end of this rotation. We don't need guys like that. You need bigger guys. Ben Cherington? You want Ben Cherington back, Eric? I don't know if I want Cherington back. I was trying to think of his years, right? Because he was essentially 2012 to what? 2016, right? He got 4 years. Obviously, he won the World Series in 2013, but there were some rough years in there, man. Who'd be good at the front end? Probably. I mean, you're looking at big name guys, right? You're looking at Yamamoto. You're looking at Blake Snell. And then for trades, right, you're looking at Burns, Woodruff, Cease. Keller could probably be a 2. Anyone from that Marlins rotation, right? Yeah, I think Michael Lorenz is an underrated arm. I agree, but that's gonna have to be like I don't know how quickly and how viciously the free agent market's going to look like this year, but if you could kind of wait Bobby V, yeah, that's who should take over for the Red Sox. Great suggestion, Eric. Appreciate it. If you could snag him, later, fill that three hole, fill that three hole. Maybe you try and say, hey, Bayo, this is your year. You're a 2. I wouldn't hate it, right? But it would depend on who you'd get at the top of the rotation. What's up, Jay? You know what I mean? Like if you get someone, what's up, Harrison? Are you surprised how quickly Kyle Teal's moving up the Red Sox prospect ladder? Not really, to be honest with you, no. I think what we've been used to as Red Sox fans, specifically over the last couple of years, is we get these sort of bigger named prospects, but they're high schoolers, right? They're 18 years old. They're so far out that you forget that when Kyle Teal gets drafted, he's what, 21? 22 maybe? He's already had experience against essentially low A and high A pitching, right? He understands that. So I think him doing so well against these guys just makes all the sense in the world. I think and honestly, I was a bit surprised he absolutely. Hot stove starts earlier this year. Yeah, the hot stove streams are gonna come in hot, Brian. So yeah, I was a bit surprised he did double A. I wasn't surprised about the single A levels. I knew he was going to do well there. I mean, it just goes to show how well that bat it truly is. That contact ability that we were talking about when he first got drafted, it's incredible. And we're seeing it. And if he keeps doing this, yeah, we're gonna be in good shape in very little time. You know what I mean? What about maybe trading for Joe Ryan? Yeah, that's a guy I'd go after. I don't think the Twins are going to let him go. You got to look for a team that's either rebuilding or has too many, right? I mean, look at the Pirates, right? They thought they were going in the right direction. They weren't, right? So they might try and retool at the end of this year. They need more. They really do need more. They need more pitching, so I don't know if they hold on to him. And then you're looking at teams like the White Sox completely need to retool. I don't know if they will, but they need to completely retool. You're looking at like Miami. Miami's good. They just don't have enough offense consistently, right? They have good games, but they don't have enough offense consistently. They're looking for position players. Our farm's getting closer to being major league ready. And they have a ton of pitchers, right? I mean, you could look at basically anyone in their rotation and be like, yeah, that's a guy who'd help out in Boston, you know? Yeah, I wonder if McCutchen comes back next year. I don't think he does. That's awesome, Jay. I'm happy for you. When does Meyer arrive? Probably 2025. If everything goes well next year. I talked about, did I show you guys the splits? Everyone was concerned about Marcelo Meyer and him not being able to handle double-A pitching. When he got hurt, he went on to the Bradfo show. Baseball isn't boring. I don't think it's called the Bradfo show anymore. He said he got hurt. I'm looking right now. Can I search my own tweets? How do I do that? Chad, how do I search my own tweets? Does anyone know? Oh, here it is. Anyway, all right, here it is. Ready? So I tweeted this out, and a lot of people have been talking about it. This isn't me, right? But either way, he told Rob Bradford that he got injured on May 7th. Here are his splits before and after the injury. Before his injury, he had a 337 average with a 414 on base percentage and a 582 slug. Good for a 996 OPS with a 168 WRC plus. After he was injured this year, it's not a claim, he was injured on the 7th. He was hitting 190 with a 256 on base percentage, 366 slug, and a 662 OPS. Good for just a 66 WRC plus. So, I mean, there's a lot of people talking about whether or not he could handle it and all this stuff. I think, what's up? I'm going to laugh every time I see that name. But either way, right? I mean, it's hard, right, to say that, oh, Marcelo Meyer fell off, all this stuff. When that's clear, right? How far away is Noah Song? Never back down, never what? I would say pretty far. I would say 2 years. I don't even know. To be honest with you, I don't even know if he makes it to Major League Baseball. And it's not a fault of his talent. I think age-wise, right? your point on trading with teams who are rebuilding or who have too many. Does anyone have too many pitching these days? Yeah, like I mentioned, I think the Marlins are a perfect example of this. I think with Miami, right, they're in a good spot. They have a decent bullpen. They have a fantastic rotation. They just don't have enough legitimate impact position players outside of Jorge Soler and occasionally Jazz Chisholm, right? Outside of that, and Luis Ariz, right? And Ariz cooled off a lot, I think. Yeah, he's a tune away. So I think, you know what I mean? So I think when you're looking at that situation, that is, you have too many pitchers. And the reason I say too many pitchers, it's not because you can never, I understand you can never have enough pitching depth, but at some point you got to use that pitching to invest in your offense. And the Marlins are in a perfect capacity to do that. Dropping Alex Verdugo and picking up Renfroe is a really bad idea. No, we're not we were in a rebuild. I don't think we're in a rebuild anymore. I think we're very close. What's up, Robbie? How you doing? I mean, you think about it, right? This offense was a top 5 in baseball. The bullpen was nails until you overused them. And then you talk about the defense and the pitching, right? If you can figure out going into 2024, and we've already kind of dove deep into why the defense, in my opinion, is a bit of an outlier, and I think it's going to be naturally better next year. But we could break that down again if you guys want me to. But either way, right? You take all those factors, and what is this team missing? It's missing 2 legitimate starting pitchers. You get 2 legitimate starting pitchers, this team's it's a different story. It's a completely different story. So I don't think we're in a rebuild let me rephrase that. I don't think next year we'll be in a rebuild, and I don't think we need to go into a full retool, if you will. It's a player option after 23, and there's no way he doesn't take that player option. Or I'm sorry, there's no way he takes that player option. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year, for sure. For sure. No, it needs to be better than that, Ruse. It needs to be better than that. You need to go, in my opinion, you need to go someone like Yamamoto at 1, and then someone else at 2, or you could put Bayo at 2, and someone really, really workhorse at 3, like Shota, like Lorenzen, like Montgomery, like a Nola, right? You need one of those guys in the middle. And then you need, then you go either Bayo or that guy, and then you go, I don't even know who'd be 4, right? Would you go Sale? Yeah, we certainly don't need Chapman. Why do the Red Sox need Turner? He's been one of our most consistent players this year. He's showing no signs of slowing down, and he's a fantastic bench video. If you want my help, Robbie, I'd be glad to help, man. I'd love to be able to answer some of those for you. What were you teaching them that you need my video, though, for, by the way? Overall thoughts on Yoshida? Yeah, I think what we saw from Yoshida isn't what we're going to be seeing going forward. I think there's a lot of outside factors with Yoshida, right? I think when you're looking at Yoshida and what it means for what happened this season, you saw what Yoshida truly was, in my opinion, like June and July, right? And then you get to August, and you guys have to remember, right? The Japanese baseball schedule is 140 games. So by 150-something games, you're already past the World Series, technically, right? Whatever their championship is. And then on top of that, too, he played in the WBC. Oh, I really like that, Robbie. Yeah. Hey, if you ever need someone to come in and talk. You also play in the WBC. Fester, enough with the Bauer stuff, dude. Trevor Bauer's a bum. He's not going to ever pitch in Major League Baseball again. Let it go. Right? He played in the WBC with an extra 20 games. So really, he hit his regular season in Japan in like, I don't even know, right? Early August, essentially, is where he hit what he had normally been playing, right? So I think until you get to August, I think that's where you see the true Masataka Yoshida, right? And then on top of that too, yeah, Higgins, you mentioned it, right? Longer breaks in between every single game. Yeah, Robbie, hey, let me know if I can zoom in. I'll do it. Yeah, I think what Turner gave to the organization is fantastic. Nah, dude, Bauer's a bum. I don't want him. I don't understand why anyone wants him, right? There's other better options. There's no reason to get Trevor Bauer. There's no reason, and here's the other thing too. No MLB team's going to do that. When you have other options, especially coming over from Japan, right? You got Yamamoto, you got Shota, you've got you've got all these different arms that are available via free agency, and there's going to be a ton of different people in trade rumors too, right? So it's like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, why would a Major League Baseball team? Why would a Major League Baseball team do that to themselves? Take on that press when you could get someone who's has a higher ceiling. Yeah, let him go to the Yankees. Perfect. Dakota Hudson, Dylan Cease would be an interesting one. I would assume Cease is at least not unattainable, right? I think the cost to get Cease would be pretty high. But yeah, Bauer's just unnecessary baggage, to be honest with you. And even if you don't include all the press and whatever you want, right? It doesn't matter, right? Whatever your opinion on him is, he's not a team player. He's a cancer to a locker room. He's a a-hole. You know what I mean? No one likes that guy. Why would you bring that in and crush a team's chemistry just for the bad press, right? When you could get someone who could post the same numbers. It's stupid. Really, it's genuinely stupid. What offseason trades do you see happening for the Sox? What's up, Trevor? I don't know, to be honest with you. It's going to be the problem right now is it's hard for me to sit here and talk about trade videos and talk about free agent videos because we don't really know, right? We don't really know. Yeah, Mark, we're not sitting here debating that. We're not doing that crap. We're not doing that crap. We're not sitting here. We're not trying to debate whether or not he was innocent, he wasn't. I truly, to be honest with you, I don't care. He's a scumbag either way, right? We don't need to have we're not going to sit here and debate that. I just explained everything. We're moving on from Trevor Bauer. In terms of offseason, it's hard, right? It's hard for me to sit here and say, yeah, this is who the Red Sox could be targeting. This is who the Red Sox shouldn't be targeting because we don't know what that's going to look like. Because we don't know who the GM or chief baseball operator is, right? So it's all over the place right now, to be honest with you. What is the ideal offseason for me? Free agent pitching or trade for it? Personally, I would rather get it through free agency because I think to get starting pitching, a legitimate starting pitcher, you're touching one of Marcelo, Roman Anthony, Ceddanne Rafaela. You know what I mean? You're going to be touching one of those big three to get rid of, to get a legitimate starting pitcher. You probably are, right? So in my opinion, I would rather go free agency, but I think that's at some point going to have to be in the conversation. You're going to have to talk about who we're gonna have to trade, and I think it's gonna be one of Meyer, Anthony, or Rafaela. And my honestly, my hope is that it's Rafaela. And I love Rafaela, and I've been really falling in love with him, watching him at the big league level. But I'm trying not to get attached because he makes the most sense to move on from. The only way I want to get Burns is if you lock him up afterwards, right? It's if you lock him up afterwards, right? If you can get Corbin Burnes and then sign him to a 5-year, 6-year extension, then yeah, I'm all in. Because if you're gonna have to get Burnes, you're probably gonna have to give him one of those guys up, and it would be such a waste if you just did 1 year. Is this gonna be a big offseason? Yeah, I think it will be a big offseason one way or the other, right? One way or the other, because we have so much mystery going on. Burnes is from your hometown. Burnes got the same first name as me. I'm all in on getting Corbin Burnes. Rooting for a guy named Corbin on the Red Sox is like, basically I'm living out my dream, right? Why move on from him? Because if you could teach him second base. Because in my opinion, I think when you're looking at the big three right now in the Red Sox prospect pool, outside of Teal, because I think Teal is in his own category. I mean, Teal to me is completely untouchable. Is that ball out of here? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, this is bottom two. I missed the entire top of the inning check because we've been talking. What was I saying? Oh, right. Here's why I think if you're looking at the big three, Bloom would have trade Costas for another prospect? No. Bloom clearly didn't trade Costas for a reason, right? He had a ton of offers, and you got to respect him for the moves he didn't do. And one of them was trading Costas, which I'm very glad he didn't now. You know what I mean? But when we're talking about why I think Ceddanne Rafael is a guy who you shouldn't get attached to, it's because when you're looking at the ceilings for these top three guys, like Teal is in his own category, and then you've got Roman Anthony, you've got Marcelo Meyer, and you've got Ceddanne Rafaela, right? And I think you're looking at the ceiling of these guys. Ceddanne's got a fantastic ceiling, but there's also a ton of interesting conversations around whether or not he'll be, what his ceiling would be. So, I don't know. What's up, Versatility? I didn't see you come in there. Could you see us getting a bat besides Ohtani? Yeah, it depends on if Turner leaves, right? Because you got to that's where you got to replace. If Turner ends up signing somewhere else, if Duvall, who I think will end up signing somewhere else, you got to replace the right-handed power bat in the lineup. And I don't know. I honestly don't know where you get that from because there's not really a ton of great right-handed free agents available. Yeah, I agree. Flavortown. Who's their second baseman? Did you say who's their second baseman, man? Trade the system for Soto. The score is 1-0 still. What do you mean I need to change the score? It's tough because unless they want to do a big trade. What's up, Tony? Unless they want to do a big trade for a second baseman, which I don't think they should do because I think if they're going to allocate big prospects, it's going to have to go to pitching, right? Because in my opinion, it'd be kind of stupid to come in, especially if you're a new CBO, and realize that the Red Sox gaping hole is the front half of their starting pitching, right? Good night, Distraction. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friends. If they come in and they're like, oh, yeah, we didn't fix the pitching because we didn't really want to drain our prospect pool, but hey, we got you guys Jonathan India. Right? You know what I mean? So I think they're going to go into 2024 with a sort of mixed bag of second basemen. And it's going to end up something like Pablo Reyes, Luis Urias, $2 from Rusty's. Can we get some class to chat for Rusty's for a super chat? Thank you so much, Rusty's. I don't know why it's not popping up immediately. I give it a second. We'll give it a second, chat. We'll give it a second, then we'll respond. Let's see. Nothing? Doesn't want to cooperate tonight, but can we get some claps to the chat for Rusty's? Thank you so much. What's up, Corbin? How's your night going? Oh, of course. It's going good, Rusty's. Thank you so much for your donation, man. I appreciate you. That is a hot take shooter, and I do not think that that's going to happen. Where's Abreu on the Sox future? I really like Abreu, man. I really like Abreu. Honestly, I don't know, Putin. I honestly have no idea, right? Because if the new GM comes in, right, and they trade away, I mean, they need to get someone, right? You need to get someone for this rotation. You need to trade somebody, and you don't want to come in and immediately be the guy who blows up the top of the farm system. So maybe guys like Abreu, Valdez could be packaged together like they did with Christian Vasquez and get themselves someone decent to go through the middle of the rotation, or maybe they go in and they do something like Verdugo and Abreu for someone, right? There's a couple of different options here. It'll be really interesting to see sort of where he ends up. But I really like Abreu. No Hoskins or Soler, but you need that right-handed power, right? You need that right-handed power. Do you take a flyer on a Rhys Hoskins going into 2024? It's possible, right? I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities because you kind of do need a DH. You're not going to put Devers at DH. You're not going to put Yoshida at DH, in my opinion. And then everyone else just sort of has their position. So if Turner leaves, then yeah, you kind of do need a right-handed DH a little bit. Yeah, so did I, Tony. Hoskins is Duvall with worse defense. Yeah, I mean that's fair for sure. Blaze Jordan can be the DH. I like Jordan, but I see him traded, man. Yeah, I in my opinion, I'd bring back Turner for one more year too. But I don't know if they do it. I don't know, especially because you don't know what Turner's gonna be looking like. Yeah, it's not gonna be Blaze. I'm sorry. I love Blaze Jordan. I think he's a really, really interesting prospect. I think he's a guy who could hit at every level. He's a guy who's been really fantastic, right? But I don't know where he fits. And if he doesn't fit, he might be able to get you someone. I don't know. $10 from Shooter. Good Lord, Shooter. Can we get some super claps to the chat for Shooter? $10, he said. Every prospect should be available for the right trade because besides Blaze, he's the type of guy you could turn into Julio Rodriguez or Betts, even if it's a 10% chance, keep him. Your first part of your statement I agree with, right? I think, especially for a new GM or CBO, you know what? I'm just going to call him GM, and you guys can just understand that also means CBO, right? Because I'm so sick of having to differentiate the two. I think you're right? Going into this offseason, when you're looking for legitimate pitching potential, they're going to be expensive, and that means that everyone should be on the table. Now, does that mean that some people aren't astronomically high price-wise? No, right? If you're Kyle Teal, you better be getting Zach Gallen for Kyle Teal, right? That's the type of level you need to be looking at for Kyle Teal. But is it impossible? I don't think so, right? I don't really think there's anyone in this system that's untouchable. Now, in my opinion, I would say Kyle Teal is untouchable. Shooter says Blaze is untouchable. Again, thank you so much, Blaze. Claps in the chat for Blaze. $10 super chat. I would say it's Teal. He says it's Blaze, but at the end of the day, right, you need to make sure that these prices are correct. And I think that's where it is, right? Everyone should have a price, but your price should be very high for guys like Marcelo Meyer, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer here. Teal, in my opinion, is way up here. Blaze is a little bit lower, but not much, right? And then you get the other guys like Rafaela, who I think would be in that probably 4 or 5 range for tiers, right? And so that's what you got to do when you come in here. So yeah, I think there's a really, really good point to that yeah, I think you need to be listening on everybody. And if the right trade is there, you can't be afraid to touch it, right? You can't be afraid of what the reaction's going to be, what everything's going to be. You know what I mean? If you can get, again, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to trade Marcelo Meyer or Roman Anthony, you better be getting somebody in return, right? You gotta be getting somebody. I'm talking about Cy Young candidate, somebody, right? That's sort of where I'm at, I think. Blaze is the highest ceiling in the system. Yeah, Blaze is a guy who I think is someone again, when you're talking about, the problem with Blaze, right, is right now his stock is also super low. Marcel Meyer, again, when we're talking about this, is price, right, needs to be all the way up here, but it's not untouchable. It's not untouchable, I don't think, for Marcel Meyer. And again, with a new CBO, with a new GM, Clip asked GM, I thought we needed a CBO. You need both right now. BOH got moved off of his GM position. Obviously, Heimblum got fired. So you need both, right? And Sam Kennedy mentioned it. It could be one person who does both. It could be two people. So, you know what? I'm just going to refer to it as GM because it's easier. No, yeah. I don't think Teal is untouchable. What's Dahlbeck's future? He probably won't be tendered a contract this year, would be my guess. And someone else will pick him up, hopefully. Yeah, Miami's a great place to start looking, right? If you're talking about trades. Hey, baby Bob. Yeah, I like Sox Prospects podcast. I love everything Sox Prospects does, to be honest with you. I love everything they do. Give you push-up motivation. How many do you need to do? How many push-ups do you need to do? Duran's another guy. Someone asked a question the other day. On Twitter, who on this major league roster, not minor league, major league roster, position player-wise is untouchable. In my opinion, there's only two names, right? It's Devers and it's Tristan Casas. Outside of that, everyone has a price. Yeah, man, I really hope Bob gets on with another team. You know, Colorado just traded CJ Cron. Pick Bob up. See what he can do with Colorado. You know what I mean? Even Story? Yeah, even Story. You can do 27. What do you mean you can do 27? You got 30 in you, Rose. Come on now. Give me 30. Even Yoshida, yeah, but again, when you're talking about it, right? Even Story, yeah, I think when you're looking at these guys, no one is untouchable. No, your wrist fractured. Oh man. Well, then don't do any push-ups. That's pretty good, Mike. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't. I mean, Story and Yoshida, I think are wildly, wildly unlikely. That's position players, guys. Position players. I think Yoshida and Story are extremely unlikely, and they really shouldn't be moved. But I think you could still listen a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe you should do the grid between innings. I already filled mine out on this computer today, so there's no way of doing it. If they trade Casas, I will fully give up on this ownership. I'll be pissed. So I'm saying no to Devers for Acuna. Well, that's just flat out unrealistic, right? That is just flat out unrealistic and not going to happen. Nah, do varsity. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen for you, Frost, right? They say no. Then you end up on JV. You know what I mean? Do I think Emmanuel Valdez has trade value? Yeah, but I think he'd have to be packaged with someone. I don't think Valdez would be like the main piece in a trade, right? Yeah, Shooter. That one kind of sealed the deal for me too. I was like, what? It's ridiculous, yeah. Nah, I'm getting a haircut soon. Acuna's an untouchable level guy. We don't have that guy. Yeah, you already mentioned him. It's Devers. It is unbelievable how Red Sox fans just continuously undervalue the people they have on their team. It's ludicrous to me, right? I'll talk about Tristan Casas and people still say he's a slightly above average DH, right? That's what I get all the time when I talk about Casas in the comment section. Are you just not listening? Are you not paying attention? Like, I don't understand. Devers is having a down year right now. He's still on pace for 30-plus home runs, 100-plus RBIs, and 130-plus OPS plus. That doesn't happen. A down year for someone is not 30% better than the rest of the league with 30 home runs and 100-plus RBIs, right? It's not. That just doesn't happen. To say he's not untouchable is absolutely ludicrous, and you're flat out undervaluing the people you have on your team. Because if Devers was on another team, you would be. I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. What's up, Gritty? Yeah, anyone who's still down on Costas, to be honest with you, I think gave up watching in like May. What do I see in the future for Pablo? I think Pablo Reyes stays around. I think they really like what they have in Pablo Reyes, and honestly, I do too. I think he's a great sort of utility backup type guy. Urias, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know what happens with Urias. I guess it sort of depends on whether or not they want to go out and get a more steady second baseman. If they don't, then I think they could split time. Man, that was a rope by Doogie. I think semi giving up on Doogie is more fair than giving up on some of these other guys. Yeah, the errors have been a big problem this year for sure, Scott. I think 100% you're right, but I mean that's not a reason to say he's untouchable. Pablo Reyes, franchise cornerstone. Undervaluing Duran? I'm not undervaluing Duran, right? I would love to have Duran in this everyday lineup, but if again, I think if we're looking at untouchables on this team, if you get a good value for Duran and you know, this year even in particular, he's had some great years, he's had some great stretches, he's had some stretches where it's been a problem and there's concerns. And that's sort of been what it's like to be, that's sort of what it's like for the Jarren Duran experience. Obviously, this year was much better, but when you're talking about, whether or not he is untouchable, I don't think he's untouchable. How much will someone give up for Trout? It fully depends on if the Angels are going to take any money off. If they don't take any money off, you're not going to get much back. Yes, Mike, I've seen the stats. I know he's a great player. I'm not saying I would trade him. I'm saying he's not untouchable. Yeah, I think Doogie's traded regardless, but I don't know. Oh, sorry. Did I say Mike? I meant Mark. I know the stats, right? I understand the stats, and I've talked about it before. You had a fantastic fantastic comeback sophomore season. He's a guy who I think could be an integral piece to the Red Sox going forward. But again, if you're Miami and you're offering Edward Cabrera for a Jarren Duran, what's the bigger need right now? You've got Ceddanne Rafael, you got Wilyer Abreu, you still have Doogie, whether or not you trade him or not, right? You have options out there. Yeah, we got a lot of options in the outfield. So if someone wants an outfielder, I don't think there's going to be much holding him back. I really don't. I think when you're looking at the outfield right now, that's where the trade's going to come from. I think if you're am I going to watch the playoffs? Yeah, I'll probably pay attention to some of it. I think a lot of what I'm going to be doing this offseason is trying to figure out how to get from where we're at right now channel-wise to the next level. And I honestly don't know what the next level is, you know? So that's sort of what I'm going to be figuring out in October before we get to the true offseason in November. Who would I trade, Duran or Ceddanne? I mean, it probably has to be Ceddanne, right? Gotta do a playoff stream one day? Yeah, we could probably do a playoff stream. I don't know, Genetic. That's who he's hitched his wagon to. Would I have done Turner for Cabrera? That's a really great question because the timing of that matters a lot, right? The timing of that matters a lot because you were in the playoff race. It's really been the heart and soul of the Red Sox this year. He was on fire. And on top of that, too, it would flat out look like you were giving up, right? So, I don't know, man. That was a tough decision. I understand why they didn't do it. That one I understand. Yeah, October is going to be a lot of Red Sox talk. A lot of Red Sox talk. Because we're probably, like I said in today's video, right? If you guys watch that video, I said, like, there's a good chance that we're going to be making a couple of different front runner videos for GMs over the next couple of weeks because there's going to be a bunch of different, like Mike Hazen at some point might opt out. There might be a extension. There might be a news that the Arizona Diamondbacks won't let you interview him, right? There's a bunch of different options there, and so they're probably going to pivot to someone else. And so I think that's what a lot of October is going to be, is once a week, basically. We're going to be getting another op-ed piece, essentially, on the next big candidate for the Red Sox GM, because that's really the only news there is to talk about, right? I would love to start breaking down the offseason, getting ready for the offseason, but we're not going to know the direction of the offseason until we get a chief baseball operator. No, it certainly does not, Ruse. Certainly does not. Who do I have in the World Series? Braves, Astros again. I think it's a rematch of what was that? 2021. Yeah, does not give me real world confidence. No. Turner's old, sell high. Yeah, I get the mentality. But again, at the time, you're 1.5 games out of a playoff spot. You had one of the best months you've ever had in history, right? You were en route to be a legitimate competitor, and then you fall apart in August. It's easy looking back on it to say, yeah, we should have sold high, but it's hard to say that in the moment. I'd love to. The Orioles are a good team to root for. I hate the fans. I'm over the fans. I hate Oriole fans. Yeah, that's a tough thing to say, Axe. Like, you're expecting these people not to be human beings, right? That's just not how this works. There are going to be people who are going to be human beings. Atta baby, Masa. All right. We got ourselves a ball game, folks. Oh, you can sell Turner this offseason, unless he opts in, right? Then you get some options. Yeah, I mean, if you get Brandon Gomes, then yeah, let's do it, right? Let's do it. That's weird, Robbie. You shouldn't be getting ads. I don't think moderators were allowed to get ads. I'll look into it, Robbie. I'll look after the stream. That shouldn't be happening. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, the Massa dialogue is ridiculous. Best Red Sox trade all time? Dude, I'm so bad with remembering exact trades. Steve Pierce was a great one. I'm trying to think back to, like, score check. It's right there. Right here. Yeah, Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek. The trade to get Mike Lowell and Josh Beckett's a good one. QB mod one day? Yeah, right now I got too many. Actually, yeah, not too many, but right now I think I got, like, capacity. I got to look and see how many I'm allowed to have, but it's 3-1? Oh, man, what did I miss? Oh, Duvall singling. Duh. The Red Sox kind of hit Nathan Eovaldi. Yeah. Can the Red Sox really sign Ohtani and Yamamoto? I mean, it's just money, right? I realistically don't think they will be able to do that, but did Story just go yard? Oh no. Schwarber was kind of a fleece. Yeah, I agree with that. Sign one of them. Yeah, I don't know. Ohtani scares me. If I'm being totally honest with you, I am going for Yamamoto every day. He's 25 years old. He's been absolutely insane in the NPB, and the transition from NPB to MLB is smaller than it's ever been. That's who I'm going with every time. Pedro's a great one. Story's offensive productions this year doesn't mean anything to me. This year means nothing to me. I don't care about his offensive productions. You know what I mean? Gives you some confidence for next year. I don't know what you've been watching. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. Or I guess now 3-7 in the last 10 games. Sox are being spoilers. I would love for them to spoil the... If they sweep the Rangers, that's exactly what my thumbnail is going to be. Spoilers. I like Camden Yards, the ballpark, but I've had some of like the worst fan interactions with Oriole fans. I don't know what it is, man. I told you guys this story, I think. I tweeted it out. When I was at the game on a couple of weeks ago. Some of you guys in this chat might have actually been there. A couple of guys stopped me and took pictures and stuff. So shout out you guys. But either way, we were at the game. It was me and my girlfriend. This guy next to us, like one seat in front of us, was like a Yankee fan. Was an Orioles fan, and they were just going. They were being obnoxious, right? And obviously there were some Boston fans that said some stuff. And one guy did cross the line, and so he left. And I went over and I was like, "Look, man, like, just want to apologize for that guy. Like, it's it's not usual to see that at Fenway Park." And he was like, "Oh, I don't, and I was like, you guys should be enjoying your success. You guys waited for so long, all this stuff, right?" I'm just talking to him. And his response was essentially along the lines of, "Oh, all Red Sox fans are a-holes, and you guys deserve this shit team that they're putting together." So I go, well, not all Red Sox fans are a-holes, but when you're loud, you're going to get the loud minority, right? That's how that works. If you're going to be the loud minority, you're going to get the loud minority, in my opinion, right? If I walk into Oriole Park and I'm now, right, and I'm obnoxious and I'm making fun of Red Sox players very loudly, doing all this stuff, or Orioles players very loudly, right? I'm probably going to get some fans yelling at me. That's just how it works. But that's not the only interaction I've had, Shooter. You know what I mean? That's not the only interaction I've had. I've been to Orioles Park a couple of times, and I've just had the worst interactions with Orioles fans. So I'm rooting against the Orioles. Moral of the story. Moral of the story here. But I agree with you. I mean, yeah, I'm sure Red Sox fans are annoying to the rest of Major League Baseball because we've won so much. You know what I mean? What's up, John? But it's just like, and then the other thing too is that like they lost their first game to the Tampa Bay Rays. It was like their third loss in a row, and they were like, "Oh, this is it. They're spoiling it. They're ruining the year. They're not even going to end up in first place after all this." It's like, dude, come on. Yeah, there you go. On and off the field. But I do, the team itself is a ton of fun to watch. And so it's hard for me to hate them. Yeah, the new race park does look nice. Costas is the better hitter, but Gunner's the better, like, fielder and base runner, and that's why he's going to win Rookie of the Year, which sucks. But yeah, Costa's a better hitter. Guy kind of looks like Jeff Passan in the stands right there. It's not, but it looks kind of like him. What's up, Jonathan? So yeah, that's my story. Nomar trade kind of worked out because he didn't really do much after he got traded. Mookie might win an MVP, although I think Acuna's running away with it right now. Yeah, Dennis, it was. Yeah, the A's should be actually moving to Vegas. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? If you're going to be obnoxious, you're going to get obnoxious back. That's just how it works. And if you can't take that, right, then don't do it. Yeah, it does suck, AS. But I think that's what you're going to get a lot. I think that's what you're going to get a lot with these new rules with teams coming in for the first time. Like the Dodgers coming here in a very long time, right? During regular season. What did we figure it out, Chad? 2019? I would say, Jackson, if we're a week into legitimate free agency and we do not have a GM, yeah, there's a problem. Because by that point, right? When does the posting start for when does the posting start for Japanese players? Thanks, MLB News. I appreciate it. Oh, really? Did you go to it? The makeup game? Yeah, I'm shocked Tyreek Hill hates Patriots fans. I don't think so, Christian. How many GMs do I think? 20, 30. I think there'll be a lot of conversations. Early November, the GM meetings. Yeah, I think that's kind of where you need to be. Hoping for a win. Well, it's not looking bad right now. I actually think it's top 4. Oh, okay, I see. Need Devers to get going. He's been going for, he just won AL Player of the Week, so I think we'll be all right. Cool channel, appreciate that. Thank you. Moneyline Red Sox. What was that? What were the odds? Plus, what, 125? Acuna just hit another home run. Jesus. Simeon would have been a good fit. Oh, he took the plus 1.5. I like it. Sorry to hear that, Jackson. I'm fine if the Red Sox win this series, but since they're out of contention, I kind of want the Rangers to win. How many games are the Rangers out of a wild card spot? Aren't they like a half a game out? It's all good, Isaiah. No problem. Let me see. I always hate looking at this because it's just brutal. The wild card. What could have been, chat? What could have been? Can't believe we're behind the Yankees now. Oh, no, they're tied. So if we lose, or if we win today, yeah, we could legitimately play spoiler. We could legitimately play spoiler. It's crazy how bad the White Sox were this year. That's just that's brutal. I should be GM? No. I don't know enough. I'll get to your question in a second, Pac-Man. Sorry, I didn't see that the first time. I would die. I could not handle that pressure. That decision-making pressure. I could barely handle these idiot trolls in my comment section. I don't know how I'd be able to handle, millions of people telling me I'm terrible at my job. Dude, Connor Wong scorches some baseball. Whoever just said that. Your question, Pac-Man, was would I rather have Burns or Woodruff? I would rather have Burns. I would rather have Burns. I think Burns will have a bounce back year. Yeah, true. I'd have 7,000 of you guys, which would mean a lot to me, but I think there'd be an overwhelming majority. Yeah, I think they have to, honestly, Red Dead. I think they kind of have to win this week, right? If they don't win this week, we'd be looking at some trouble this season. But I like Mac Jones. I might be in the minority there. And I don't know, honestly, don't know a ton about football. Every Christmas, my family watches Red Seat Radio. But I like Mac Jones. I don't know if I'm in the minority there. Yeah, it's really, honestly, I think I've explained this a couple of times live, but I've explained this to a couple of different people. It's hard for me to care about the Patriots winning or losing because, and it's not really fair for, younger generations to have to deal with this, but like mediocre Patriots. But when you've seen the greatest owner, the greatest coach, the greatest quarterback, and the greatest tight end all on one team, it's hard for me to sit there and be like, oh, the goddamn Patriots can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I've seen quite literally the best of the best in their respective areas of all time. You know? I agree, Shooter. I need a network. I'm not good at networking, to be honest with you. Has anyone reached out to me yet? I'm not sure what you mean reached out. I just here's the problem, right? Is it's hard for me to put myself out there and network because a lot of the time, right, I feel like I'm still too small. I feel like I'm still too new and unseasoned for people to take me seriously. Does that make sense? And honestly, it's been proven a couple of times, right? I reached out to a couple of people in the industry, and not a lot of people got back. And I think it's just because of that. What's up, Dennis? Yeah, that's the problem, right? I have a good face, thanks. Size doesn't matter. Yeah, well, it depends on what you're talking about. I don't know if I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that, Putin. Thank you. It's so weird. I'm going to call you Stop. But when I'm talking about radio and TV, I get nervous about it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if I'd want to go into TV or radio. TV maybe. I definitely wouldn't want to get into sports radio. I think you have to be too one-sided. You have to be too one-sided, right? You got to pick one side and you got to go with it. That's just who you are from here on out. If Tony Maserati got onto the radio tomorrow and was like, you know what? I actually didn't hate Hein Bloom. Right? And the hard thing is too, is with that as well, you got to be almost more like I don't know if I can sit there. No, yeah, but here's the difference, right, Putin? Stop. I gotta stop calling you Putin. I'm gonna call you Stop from now on. The difference between YouTube and then TV and radio is it's hard for me to see these guys as fans. Like Tom Caron, Jim Rice, all these guys do a fantastic job. They do an incredible job. But they have to be more, they can't get, like I get angry and then I make a video and be angry, right? And then I go on and it's all my opinion, right? I base it off of facts. We talk about legitimate reports, but at the end of the day, right? It's what I think, and then on top of that too, I'm able to come in here and I'm able to do stuff like this, where I'm able to answer your questions directly, and we can have a conversation like this. You can't do that on radio and TV, so it's hard for me to, obviously, if they came to me and was like, Corbin, Nesson wants you on a 3-day a week spot, and they're gonna pay you to do it. Am I gonna say no to that? Probably not, right? Probably not. But I think that's just sort of my outlook, right? The other thing too is that apparently, I use obviously we use game clips and stuff like that in these videos, and that limits you. Apparently, you can't get hired by MLB. So, Fuzzy, I would love to contact Fuzzy. I don't know how much he knows about the Red Sox situation though. What would we talk about in a live stream? Right? It would have to be Red Sox related. Any updates on Shohei to the Red Sox? The only thing I saw was the recent one by not Shaughnessy, Gammons. By Gammons. Everything else, not much, Jeff. So yeah, ultimately that was why I picked YouTube in the first place. Was because I wanted to talk to people about Red Sox baseball. I don't know who's Jimmy. Stop. Who's Jimmy? Yeah, I saw that, John. Not great. Probably good news, I guess. It just essentially means he needs to get his shoulder drained a little bit. Gammons, yeah. Yeah, Gammons a well-respected journalist, but nowadays he'll just throw something out there, He'll just throw something out there, see if it sticks. Jimmy from oh my God, Talking Yanks, John Boy Media. Is that who you're talking about? But either way, I think with Gammons will throw something out there, and it'll yeah, that's essentially what he did with Ohtani. That's what we talked about with the Ohtani interest in Boston videos. We talked about it. Costas is still eligible for Rookie of the Year, but no, probably not. Favorite Red Sox journalist? I love Max Cerullo. I think he's Boston Herald. He does a great job. Fantastic job. Ian Brown's another great one. Christopher Smith. Catillo's pretty good. Who do I think will get Rookie of the Year? It's Gunnar Henderson. And then I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the NL rookies. Who is in the race for NL rookies, chat? Worst Red Sox journalists? It's either Pete Abraham, John Tomasi, or Dan Shaughnessy. Dan Shaughnessy, I think, is on a different level. Corbin Carroll's a rookie this year? Wow. Tyler Milliken's Jerry Carabas' co-host. That's a guy who I reached out to, actually, to see if we could, do something together, because he does a great job. Yeah, and I really respect him. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's the type of guy where I don't think I have the following for people like that to respond. When did I start watching the Red Sox? The earliest I can remember is 2004, but when I legitimately remember is 2007. You're from Baltimore? Nice. How did you stay a Red Sox fan? Yeah, that was kind of a brutal. The umpires once in a while this series have been tough. Cowboy Up days, yeah. Starting in the 70s, you've been around. You've been around for some big teams here, for some long stretches with no playoffs, huh? Just love Mookie Betts. Man, Jemai didn't even look at that. That was sick. 1978. So you guys have been around for a long time. Tyler isn't that big. He's got a lot bigger. A lot bigger. I actually reached out to him. I reached out to him in the beginning of this season, and I got nothing. And then when I got a little bit bigger, right, I reached out to him again, and still hate Aaron Boone. I would assume that's 2003. 1975 is your first memory. So here's my question to the sort of, not older, the more experienced Red Sox fans in here. Let me ask you, right, are you, see you later, CER, are you upset with the direction of the Red Sox? I feel like a lot of I think a lot of people who are upset with the direction the Red Sox are going in right now are a little bit older. But my confusion there, right, is that you went from 1970 to 2004. That's 34 years without a championship, right? And then you go from 2004 to 2023, and you've got 4 championships in 20 years, right? You've quadrupled your rate over the same time span. So here's my question to the more experienced Red Sox fans who've been around since the 70s. Is there concern with you guys? You're out, Robbie? All right, my man. Take care. Let me know what you think about let me, if you ever do want me to come on and help you out, I would love to help you out for everything you've done for me. So let me know. So yeah, are there concerns with you guys as older fans, or are you more okay, I've lived through the crap, right? I've drenched through the mud. I have done everything humanly possible just to see one. Now I have 4, and I think we're on the right path to another one. Is that where you guys' thought process is at? I'm always curious about talking to older Red Sox fans because of that, because I think there's just a different outlook than what I have, what Prodigy has, what Clip has, right? Yeah, I mean, that's fair versatility. That's fair. I would say prime David Price. That might be crazy. Yeah, the Red Sox have been all over the place this year. It's unfortunate that they're ending down. I would have loved for them to end up, even if it didn't mean competitive baseball. This team, to me, doesn't feel like an under 500 team. It sucks. So you think part of it is ownership? Even though they got you 4 World Series, you're still upset with ownership. I'm not trying to like debate here. I'm just genuinely curious. That's crazy, Joey. 82 wins? That'd be awesome. Yeah, I saw that, Frost. Yeah, the 2018 was a wagon. Yeah, Corbin Carroll. I didn't even realize that. I appreciate you, Peter. Thank you. So I'm just sorry, Chad. I'm just sort of reading through what some of the more experienced fans have to say because, again, I think this is such a unique and different, a unique and different wavelength than what I experience. Everything, right? Right. So here's my question to that, Wendell, is you saw these great teams, right? But they always seem to have one fatal flaw, right? Are you already impatient for another World Series contender, or are you okay sitting back and saying, look, dude, we got 4. I understand we're in a rebuild phase. I'm gonna be patient with this team and see where it goes. Are you already like, dude, you gave us 4 World Series, time to get out of here? You know what I mean? That's sort of where I think a lot of older fans are at, which is interesting to me because you were so patient for so long. I don't think the Red Sox sign Ohtani, Juan, to be honest with you. You're willing to wait. Okay. I was patient from 67 to 04. Yes, that's what I'm saying, right? Are you guys so you're okay with willing to wait? I think a lot of older fans, which is interesting to me, right, aren't. Which is shocking to me because it's like, yeah, you were patient and again, you saw some good teams and that's fine. I get it. I'm just saying. So it's interesting to me. Lars Nootbaar is the future Red Sox? That'd be interesting. Potential draft pick, Tim Corbin or Corbin Martin. Dude, if they pick up Tim Corbin, I'm buying a jersey immediately. I agree with that, Mike, for sure. I think the Red Sox have a very good potential to be a top 3 team in this division. Easily, right? Going into next year. If they can get the starting pitching. It just depends, Matty. I think it's too early to make it a prediction on that, to be honest with you. Yeah, sometimes, yeah. I mean, the last couple of World Series have been really tight-knit groups, and I think that's the direction it's going. You know what I mean? I think the days of getting the biggest free agent and, you know, trading away everybody to get the biggest name, I think those are kind of over for every MLB team. I think you're still going to see big contracts, but you're going to see more individual contracts given out to younger players on the team. I think you're going to see a lot of trades. I think those are going to get more important. I think you're going to see a lot of trades for major league players too. I think you're going to see a lot more because especially if baseball is going towards we're going to get deals. You're out. All right, MLB. It was nice talking to you, my friends. Enjoy the rest of the game. Right? If you're going more towards younger deals, and a lot of these guys are locked up for $20 million going into a $30 million year season, there's a pretty good chance that we see a lot more major league trades because there are going to be guys locked up on these smaller deals for buying out their arbitration years. Right, exactly. Versatility. You can't overspend now because it's just not how the game operates anymore, which is interesting, right? The Mets are a perfect example. Padres are a good example of that. It's not how the game operates anymore, which is interesting. And I think one of the things we're seeing now is chemistry matters a lot. Chemistry matters more than a lot. I think for the most part they will stay with McGuire and Wong. I think Wong's really developed into a great I can handle a pretty decent chunk of games catcher. And with the way Kyle Teal's hitting 2 in AA, he's not far off, man. If he continues to do this at the beginning of the year, I think if he continues to do that at the beginning of 2024, I think there's a chance you see him at the end of 2024. So I don't think they go all out for a catcher, no. Because Wong can handle it defensively, right? Wong's a great defensive catcher. So if they can hold out, I think they'll be fine. All right, Jackson. I get it. Don't worry. Yeah. Obviously, Kyle Teal. Oh, Wong. Yeah, Wong can get into him, man. Wong can get into him. Yeah. Great teams aren't bought anymore. Are the Red Sox winning? They are winning, and I am not keeping track of this, chat. We've been talking so much about the offseason, I've kind of forgotten about the game. Miami just walked off the Mets. Man, that sucks. What is Miami going to be? I'm taking Wong over Maguire every day. Won't be in Boston next season. Everyday players. Man, that's a great question. Marlins are a half game out. Wow, the NL wild card's crazy. I don't think Alex Verdugo is here. I don't think James Paxton is here. I don't think... I know Corey Kluber won't be here. I don't think Duvall's back. And I don't think one of Rafael or Duran is here. But I'm not sure. I honestly, Mike, I haven't really thought. We need to figure out a day first, and then we'll look into what movie we want to watch. What would I do if the Red Sox made the wild card? We would have the craziest streams ever, chat. We would have the best streams of all time. What about Trevor? Will be here. Trevor needs to be here. Dahlbeck's not an everyday player, so I'm definitely not against an Alex Verdugo trade. No. Yeah, I think Duran's fantastic. Yeah. I would love to keep Duran. It's just the problem is right now you got too many outfielders. You got too many outfielders. You got no pitchers, right? And a lot of those outfielders are young. Like you're not gonna be able to trade Verdugo for a top line starting pitcher. It's just how it is with 1 year left. Moss is not going anywhere. Duvall's a free agent, right? So you got to figure out between Duran, Rafaela, and those two, right? Who you're gonna package in a big time deal. I think it's gonna be one of the two. Either that or you add someone in like Nick York to an Alex Verdugo trade and really push him. No, yeah, we've never had a wild card stream on this. If the Red Sox were going to the wild card, we'd be streaming every night. We would stream every game, I think. We would do something crazy. I think me and my girlfriend would do it together. We would stream the games. Yeah, I'd love to get Rafael at second base. They're playing him at second base they're in winter ball. We'll see how it goes. But it looks like that's what they're doing. Yeah, Bloom fixed a lot of the farm system problems. You'd go to the game if that happened? I'm so mad I didn't get this channel in 2021. I honestly thought about making a channel in 2021. I was like, Why would we need it? We don't need a shortstop. What? All right, Cam. Thanks for stopping by, my friends. Yeah, I think there'll be a big trade this offseason. There has to be, right? You have to make room. You have to make room. You gotta find space for all these young kids. Best Red Sox jersey of all time? Also, did you mean to spell Foxborough wrong? Is that on purpose? I can't tell what your profile picture is. I love the cream colored, like what was that, 1970s Red Sox uniform. I love that one. Big fan of the yellow jerseys. Apparently that's an unpopular opinion, but I love the yellow jerseys. Outside of that, I would say the blue ones. No, I mean, it'd be stupid to try and re-sign Duvall and then immediately trade him. I don't think that'd be a good idea because you got so many. All right, Mike. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you. No, but that's what I like about the yellow jerseys. They're so different. They're so intertwined with Boston. I really like it. Oh, that's pretty fresh, actually. I like that. Yeah, that's my favorite uniform of all time, Shooter. That blue with the 18 World Series on it. Big Red Machine. Yeah, I've heard some stories. What was my first Reds as a fan? 2005, I think. Maybe 2006 is like watching the full season. I think it was 2006. I have such a bad memory, chat. Yeah, Hulk is in trouble. Bernardino up in the pen. Don't love that. Yeah, I like the yellow jersey too. Maybe if they did blue, like the baby blue pants, or if they did black pants, I feel like it'd look cool. Yeah, it's a good year to come in, Genetic. You got the lowest of the lows and then the best. First time at Fenway Park, actually, I do remember this. It was 2008, the year after they won the World Series. Coco Crisp was in center field, and I went specifically to see Kevin Youkilis, and it was against the Oakland Athletics. It was one of the first games of the season. Wish you lived in Boston. Hey, you could come up one day, you know. You're from Houston? Well, hey, they come down to Houston a pretty decent amount of times, so at least you'll be able to see them. What is going on with my hair today, chat? Bad hair today, chat. Yeah, they use them a pretty decent amount, Peter. Appreciate you, Dennis. Thank you so much for stopping by. And tell your wife I say to feel better. I like everything about the Red Sox City Connect, man. And what's weird is that a lot of fans outside of the Red Sox, like fans who don't root for the Red Sox, um, like these jerseys. So again, it's Red Sox fans undervaluing themselves. That's awesome, Flavortown. I'm glad you got to go. Please be a double play. Oh, brutal. Oh, Yoshida with a cannon. Nope. Take him out. Take him out. Take him out. That would be funny. That would be funny, Mike. Favorite Red Sox player of all time is Kevin Youkilis. Although, I gotta be honest with you, man. Him in the booth kind of ruined it for me. He seems like a nice guy, but... And I do love you. He's still my favorite player, but... All Red Sox jersey would be so interesting. Oh, yeah, the ones that say Boston, that's another good one. That's awesome, Peter. You like all Red Sox jerseys? Yeah, Red Sox jerseys are all good, man. That's what I agree with that too, Joe. Like there's just so many like other people like just got totally lost in what City Connect meant, and I think the Red Sox really kind of nailed it. Oh, that is a great play. That was a great play. The gray away Red Sox jersey is a little bit boring, but it's just, it's just the opposite. You got to do something for away games. I'm surprised, what the Yankees would, like, low-key, if the Yankees had a black and white instead of white, or navy blue and white stripes, I think they'd look so much better. Yeah, Southside jerseys are fresh. The Southside jerseys are nice. San Diego's got some really nice ones. I think Washington Nationals looked really cool. You just have to get a number 24, Jonathan. There probably is. That's fair, Flavortown. That is fair. 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 That is fair Imagine if the Red Sox adopted red pinstripes. It would look so bad. Yeah, the Marlins throwbacks are the best. Green Monster jerseys would be cool. I kind of wish they did something like that. I'm kind of surprised they didn't have like green. I'm surprised they don't have like a green variation, to be honest with you. Yeah, those are the best jerseys. I really want to get a blue one. I think I'm gonna get a Tristan Casas away jersey at some point this offseason. I've got some plans for this room during the offseason, chat. I'm gonna get some. Like the retired numbers. I'm gonna put up here. Maybe we'll put like a fake poll over here. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, but that's during spring training. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll throw the pesky poll over there. I love Al Horford. Yeah. Green looks Christmassy. Yeah, but if you do green and then the red, oh, that'd be such a good jersey. But I like a Hank Aaron jersey. I don't know if I would. I mean, I would really appreciate it if that's what you're offering, but it doesn't really fit the Red Sox aesthetic unless it's somehow a Red Sox Hank Aaron jersey. Appreciate it though. Wallpaper, I am not putting wallpaper on here because that would be a disaster to take off. Yeah, I used to be really into the Celtics, not so much anymore. My favorite Celtic of all time is probably. I mean, when I was younger, I loved Rajon Rondo. I don't know why. It was Rajon Rondo and Ray Allen for me. I don't know why. Red Sox memorabilia in the background. Yeah, all of this, everything you see behind me is Red Sox related. I really appreciate that, Putin. Thank you. A Red Sea Red Sox jersey? Maybe I'll work on it. That'd be kind of cool, actually. You're right. Okay. Bernardino, can we do something, please? Dave Roberts steal? I don't know if I have room for that. Where was that? I was going to read something. Pedroia and David Ortiz hugging each other. Might not be a bad one. We need power in this lineup? No, man. We got enough power. Chat, you know it's been a long stream when we're talking about jerseys. A long conversation about Red Sox jerseys. Yeah. Red Sox stamps. No, I want to get, there's like little metal, you get the little metal circle, and they're the retired numbers. I want to hang them. Wait. Like here. This way. I think that would look really cool. Dave Roberts will never leave the Dodgers. Not happening. Washing A-Rod. You know, Jason Veritek hates that picture, which is hilarious. We might be able to fit that one. Because that'll be up and down. Yeah, that's probably right where I put it, Richard. All right, I'll keep it there. But when he's traded, I want a full apology. Stop. I want a you were right. Please tell me that's an out. There we go. That was beautiful. Hi, baby Rafi. Duvall should stay. I mean, if you're deciding between Duvall and Turner, I'm taking Turner every day because of what he's meant off the field, on the field. He's been the more consistent player. That was a great play by Rafael Devers. Give him his flowers, chat. I remember the Red Sox at one point put out like wines. I remember collecting those bottles for some reason when I was younger. I had like me and my mom would go and we'd get like Clay Buchholz, and there was a Kevin Youkilis one, and there was a David Ortiz one, and a Manny. It was weird, man. Who do I like more, Devers or Verdugo? It's not even a competition. It's Rafael Devers. Not even a competition. Yeah, it's not even close. It's Devers. Yeah, but I would rather have Turner. I would. As a DH, I'd rather have Turner. I mean, we talked about it, right? He's a consistent in this lineup. He's always, even when he's going through slumps, he's still putting together really great ABs, and it's everything he can take off the field as well. I don't think the Red Sox move Yoshida. Like, we've had way worse outfielders in left field for longer periods of time. I don't think there's a real push to get Yoshida to DH. I really don't. Manny was an odd duck, yeah. Yeah, and we also have Ref Snyder in there too. So I like I said, whatever trade is going to happen, if it's going to involve major league players from the Red Sox, it's going to be from the outfield because there's just so many. Haven't checked the numbers, but eye test, he's probably better than Manny. He's probably better than Johnny Gomes. I'm trying to think of some other just random left fielders that were. Hanley Ramirez was out there for a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no problem leaving him in left field, in my opinion. Benintendi, no, I'm good. Benintendi's giving you Masataka Yoshida numbers, but Masa has a higher ceiling. There's no reason to get Benintendi, as much as I love him. How much does Turner get? I think it's only like 6.7 on top of what he's already like. He's only getting like a $6 million raise. Yeah, Benny was a great player. He was one of my favorite players too. But I'm trying to remember how much he gets if he opts in now. I'll take a look. Let me see. Yeah, so his yearly cash is $6.7 million next year. And I don't know why that is. I think he gets a bonus. Oh. Player option contains a $6.7 million buyout. So if he opts out, right? Oh, how many plate appearances does Turner have this year? I think he made about 400. He might have made like $600,000 this year. But yeah, he's not gonna opt in for that. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Masa. I think he'll be fine. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought, versatility. But yeah, he's going to opt out. Yeah, I do actually. What was that? Manny. Youkilis was in that, right? It was Youkilis, Mike Lowell. Did it go Pedroia, Manny? I think Pedroia. No, it was Veritek, right? Pedroia, Veritek, Manny, Mike Lowell. Yeah, Chris Martin's a 2-year deal. Yeah, Jim Rice was never a great defender. So like I'm not worried if the Red Sox shouldn't plan around trying to you know what I mean, trying to put Massa at DH. I don't think he needs to be. Manny Mike Lowell, JD Drew, that's who I thought it was. Kenley's on a 2-year deal, yeah. Go to ballpark food. I'm a big hot dog guy. I always get 1 or 2 hot dogs while I'm there. Problem is it's so expensive, right? So it's like 2 hot dogs like $20. But yeah, I usually go hot dog, and then if I'm still hungry, I'll get a pretzel or peanuts. But it's usually hot dog. Nah, keep Jansen. Again, people say that Jansen was bad this year. I don't know. Jansen's been great for the Red Sox in my opinion. Do I think anyone on the Red Sox is currently? Oh, besides Devers is retiring as a Red Sox. I think Kenley Jansen might retire after he's done with the Red Sox here. I think that's it. I think there's people I'd want to, but Chris Martin maybe he'll be here next year. Turner's not going to retire. He had too good of a year. There's too much money left on the table there, unless he's seriously hurt. No, I'm just reiterating what someone else said, Salty. I never got to watch Jim Rice, obviously. Yes, I'm 33. Never too old for some ice cream and a helmet. I agree. Yeah, you just got to get better in center field, which is why I think a combination Duran Rafaela could be good, especially with the jump Duran has made this year. Interesting. When Kowski will be here, no Crawford or Bayo. That's, in all honesty, it's probably the exact opposite. Looks like Hazen has been leveraging Red Sox rumors once again to get himself a contract. Sounds like they're in contract talks right now for an extension in Arizona. Interesting. He says he hasn't. The who is this CEO of the Diamondbacks said they haven't. Red Sox haven't contacted him, and I hope they don't. He's under contract, and we like him. He and I are always having conversations about his future. Talk about Hazen. He's got a full year, then a club option on top of that, so there's still plenty of time on a contract. I can't envision us going a different direction with what he's built and his leadership. Interesting. Sounds like he's leveraging for an extension from right now. So you know what? We're gonna be moving on next week, chat. No, he messed it up. I think he messed it up, Shooter. I think he meant Wink's gone and the other two are here. I think that's what he meant. But that sucks. A little bit of breaking news on the live stream. Although I think that was put out a little bit earlier. Yeah, the only time that's going to happen, Mike, is in the top 4 or 5 picks. Everyone else is a bit of a there's never really a lock pitching prospect, right? That's sort of why you don't see, unless they're like Paul Skeens or was another one taken super high this year. But either way, right? No, no, that's not how it's gonna work, Salty. Especially with people under contract. Kind of like Casas, Kyle Teal. Kyle Teal will be the next big thing on the Red Sox. Yeah, but why would they, Dennis? They have no reason to take pay cuts. Right, Strasburg was thought to be a sure thing. So I mean, it's tough with pitching prospects, and I actually kind of didn't hate the idea of building up the positional player core in the Red Sox farm system, and then using some of that to trade for pitching. I think that's a smart move. You just never it never happened, right? Oh, you're saying that the Red Sox need to call them. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying people need to call the Red Sox. Shooter, upgrading to the box seats. Thanks so much, my friend. Hey, that means you'll be in the trivia live stream on Tuesday. Let's go. And you get a preview of every game with bets. Thank you so much, Shooter. I appreciate you. Go ahead, some claps in the chat for Shooter, please. Never should trade Jeffrey Spings away. Yeah, I think the Red Sox are going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know, though. It depends on... It depends on what the Red Sox do this offseason, honestly. Yeah, I agree with you, Shooter, 100%. If the Red Sox defense and starting pitching was better, this bullpen would be one of the best in Major League Baseball. I'm 100% in on this. I will fight that until my face is blue. One retired pitcher, I would go with. They have to be alive. Do you get their prime years or do you just get them now? Yeah. Yeah, Miami is a perfect trade target. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, we need to find a CBO first. Into the Red Sox Hall of Fame? Yeah, probably. Because of what he did. Because of what he did in 2018 alone, yeah, I think he'll be in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. Sale the bullpen next year? Probably not. No, I think ideally, right, if you can use them as a 5-ish starter. Oh my god, no way. I gotta text my girlfriend real quick. If they can use him as a 5 starter next year, then you're in a good spot, right? Because with Chris Sale, if you use him as sort of a bit of a guy that you could plug into the back end of your rotation, you're getting that insane ability, but you can limit the innings he takes, right? Because if he's a 5 starter and he's going to go 5 innings every time out there, that's great. If he's a 2 starter and he can only go 5 innings out there, then that's not great. It's injured list now, Wendell. Yeah, if they could find a trade for Sale, I'm all in. But they would have to take the entire contract. I don't want to pay someone else to have Chris Sale pay for him. I don't want to. Yeah, Paxton won't be back, no. Will we get everything we need? Yeah, I don't know. It all depends, right? It depends on ownership, what ownership wants to do. It depends on who the new CBO is. Brazier's insane for the Dodgers. He has like a 0.62 ERA or something. When is the international free agent pool open, chat? 2024. No, I don't want the international like amateur. I want the regular. Does anyone know off the top of their head? Oh, December. There we go. That's when you really need a. That's when you need a GM by December. Am I happy about it? I don't. I don't think I'm happy about it, George. We kind of had the conversation last week a little bit. I think. I think when you're looking at this firing from Bloom, in hindsight, right? It's understandable. I think. We could talk about it in a video. I don't know if you guys would want to watch a video about what Bloom's legacy actually is on the Red Sox. I don't know if you guys will want to watch that, but like, there's a lot of good he did behind the scenes. The problem is, right, he was too indecisive. He was too methodical, and I think the Red Sox, he got them to a good spot, but the Red Sox didn't feel as though he was willing or able to get them to the next spot. All right, Genetic, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. And so, I think if they don't believe that, then you got to fire him and you got to move on as quickly as possible. So I think it was not the right move is the wrong word. I think it was the move that best fit the ownership, and we'll see what happens, honestly. Yeah, it's just about finding one little thing. That's it with Brazier. Ah, crap. Just as I give Yovera his flowers, too. I would love to see Chris Murphy turn around, man. I love what he was able to bring earlier in this year. He was a savior for the bullpen, so he had a really productive year. You'd like to see his legacy in video form? I appreciate it, Mike. I'll look into it. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll dive into it later this week. Yeah, that was what it was. He was a perfectionist is a great way to put it. And it made him a bit, not timid's the wrong word, but indecisive, I think is the better word. And there's stuff coming out too about, he obsessed. The word obsessed was used when you're talking about looking at Story, looking at Yoshida, and after they signed him, right? Just obsessed over what that meant for the future of the club. And, I think a lot of what he did was good. I think a lot of going by the numbers and being super analytical and being a perfectionist worked in a lot of regards. When it comes to big league club, at some point you got to kind of throw that out and be like, what is this going to do for the Red Sox and how do I get this guy here, right? If this is my guy, how do I get him here? I'm not afraid to do that. Yeah, the deadlines have been perfect examples of this, I think. All the stuff coming out about the deadline this year, last year, the deadline news, right? It's just, there was so many indecisiveness. There was so much indecisiveness. Oh, speaking of Chris Murphy, there he is. Oh, I didn't even see that run. Sorry, chat. I'm sorry, my girlfriend. She works in the sports industry, and they were just doing a. What was Kluber's record? It wasn't great. Wasn't great. I don't think Yovera gets a DFA, man. I actually think Yovera in a mop up ish role isn't bad. Oh, come on. Am I going to opening day 2024? I don't know. I love going to opening day, but it's so nice. It's so nice celebrating the opening of a new season with you guys. I don't know. I'll be going to game 2. Usually is what I usually do. So how many times did I say usually in that sentence? Sometimes I catch myself doing that in videos too. Do you guys ever notice that? Like I'll catch one word and I'll just use it. Actually, I shouldn't point this out to you. Because you guys are going to hate my videos now. As much as I hate hearing myself talk. It's hard, right? Because I don't want to look down at what I had written down, but I also don't want to. Yeah, it's an interesting situation when you're by yourself talking to a camera and you're trying to get your point across as fast as possible and still remember all the points that you wanted to hit on. All right, Fox, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a good night. Yeah, chat. I don't know. I'll probably head out if it gets to like 11ish and this game isn't over. We'll probably call it quits. But I don't see it doing that. It's already the bottom of the 6th. No, yeah, I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying he's not terrible. He's a usable player, right? Not every player in your bullpen is going to be a stud. He did get Massa, JT, Kenley, and Martin. Yeah. There's a lot that Heimblum did well. I think it's just, right, you get that 90% like we talked about. You do everything 90%, but you needed to get that 10%. That 10% was a risk. You needed to take that risk, and that never happened, right? And I think that's ultimately what it came down to when we're talking about, Heimblum and what happened. What happened that is dragging? What do you mean dragging? Oh, the game? I think it's just there's been so many people on base. That's exactly kind of it, versatility. I think, he did a great job of raising the floor of what this team's worst could look like. And, there have been some great additions. I'm not going to lie to you. I think we're looking at this offseason in particular, there were more positives than there were negatives by a lot, right? I think really the only negative this offseason is Corey Kluber. Outside of that, you look at Adam Duvall, you look at Justin Turner, you look at Joely, I would also say is a miss too. But you look at, so Joely and Kluber are really the only misses, and then you look at Duvall, Turner, Kenley, Martin, Massa, Urias's move, right? That was a good move. Blyer wasn't, but that sucks. So you're what, 3 to 5, 3 to 6. This will be the first live stream that I don't finish. Oh no. Yeah, blind faith in Sale didn't help either. Yeah. Fired. Mondesi really wasn't a miss because if you had traded someone significant for him, fine. But you trade Josh Taylor, who was terrible in the big leagues and then ended up getting season-ending surgery anyways. Yeah, the Mookie Betts trade's fully on ownership. I agree. Yeah, Joely was good. He just couldn't stay healthy, which I think at the end of the day, right, just boils down to it being a bit of a miss. Oh, Josh Taylor was god-awful when he was healthy this year. Aquaman, yeah, but Aquaman wasn't a big signing. That's not really. Yeah, but that's a rumor. That was never really confirmed versatility. That was sort of just someone threw that out there. Let me show you guys what Josh Taylor did this year. Josh Taylor. Yeah, Taylor had a negative 5.5 WAR. He had an 8.15 ERA in 17 appearances with a 4.79 FIP, which is much better, but a 55 ERA plus. He was walking a bunch of guys. He was still striking a bunch of guys out, but he was allowing a ton of hits and a ton of home runs. His WHIP was 1.755. Yeah, that's basically it, Mike. Yeah. No, I think 468 kind of nails it, to be honest with you. I think that's kind of it. Yeah, Mondesi had a 0 WAR, so. Yeah, I would take Montgomery. I think Jordan Montgomery, yeah. The problem is you'd still need someone at the top of the rotation though. Yeah, Noah Son did have a better WAR, yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see sort of what direction. I mean, there's a lot of option the Red Sox could do, right? They could load up on twos and threes, get 3 or 4 of them, honestly. Yeah, I don't know if the Red Sox. I don't think there's a lot of people saying that. Imagine if they had Evaldi and Waka. I don't know if you even if you have Evaldi and Waka instead of say Kluber, say instead of say instead of Kluber and James Paxton, are you in a better spot? Maybe by a couple of games. You're certainly not in the wild card. Man, Bobby's been hitting well, man. Good for him. I forgot about Hoy Park last year. I forgot about him. I don't think there's a much better fit, man. I think Yamamoto's a Cy Young contender. I think he's a guy who's 25 years old, right? I would pay 50% if you're the Red Sox, right? And you want to make a splash, pay 50% more than what he's worth. Do it. It's just money at the end of the day. You need to get him, in my opinion, right? And if you don't get him, right, you got to be able to pivot real well. Got to be able to pivot real well. I'm talking big trade and then like Snell and Lorenzen, right? You got to be able to pivot real well. So we'll see, right? I'm not going to put all my eggs in the Yamamoto basket, but last year, no, he was not the worst pitcher in last year. Yeah, it really does suck for Kluber. Yeah, he does look like he's having. I'm happy for Dahlbeck. Nah, Kodai Senga has a very similar build, and he's been fine all year. I mean, you don't have to be 6'7" and 260 to be a successful pitcher anymore in Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? And again, Japan baseball is very. I mean, look at how much they essentially torched a lot of our superstars in Major League Baseball. They torched a lot of players in Major League Baseball in that run to their World Baseball Classic championship, and look at the success they've had. It'll probably happen, Prodigy. Sale would benefit from a 6-man rotation. What's up, Tom? Finally got the TV? Yeah, you can watch the tail end of this. It's a pretty good comparison, Mike. Yeah, I agree. Versatility, and again, right? It's like the competition's getting pretty close. Give them. Who are you trading for Bobby Witt Jr.? I'm super curious about this. 4-man rotation? God no. That would last about a month before someone got seriously injured. Yeah, I mean but that's what happens with Paxton, right? You haven't pitched more than 20 starts in 4 years. Sale really hasn't done the same either. It makes sense. Plus, he was injured. A members Woo Sox game? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean we did have a 3-man rotation. Yeah. Remember only meet up? Maybe at some point. The problem is you guys are just so spread. Like I would hate to make you guys meet up for something like just to hang out at a bar before a Red Sox game. Any rookie besides Blaze Jordan is you were putting Blaze Jordan in the safe zone before you put Meyer, Roman Anthony, say Don Rafaela, Miguel Blaze, all after Blaze Jordan. No, they're not giving him up. You certainly are not getting Bobby Witt Jr. for Mikey Romero now. Yeah, I mean it's a big difference miles an hour wise, especially with James Paxton, right? Chris Sale is a little bit. You could get like you just saw it against the Toronto Blue Jays, right? You get away with it a little bit where he sits, low 90s. Paxton relies on his fastball too much for him to be successful with a low velo fastball, which I think is ultimately, honestly, I think he was just shut down to fatigue. And I think, he won't be back next season. It sucks because he was on track to really make a interesting impact on 2024 offseason. He'll probably sign, a 1 or 2 year deal worth $4 or $5 million bucks. Oh, look, the Blue Jays look like us last year. Most blown saves in Major League Baseball. Let's go. That wouldn't even sniff. Getting Bobby Witt Jr. from the Royals, dude. What is that uniform? $10 million for 1 year? Yeah, maybe. I mean, you showed signs to the first half, right? Could you? Oh, dude, Doogie, come. Oh, that sucks. That is a flat out meltdown. That blows. Who's at fault there? Yeah, I don't think he gets 2 years now. Who's at fault there? Was it Seager? Oh, yeah, that was Seager. Top 7? Yep, thank you. I think I took the over on wins too, actually, at the beginning of the year. Paxton the Angels? Maybe. I don't know. Some team will pick him up because they need a fifth starter. And he'll be good. Odds of getting Rich Hill, 0. If they get Rich Hill, you messed up this offseason. Yeah, I do know that, Prodigy, yeah. Right, yeah, let's get Bill Lee. We would take Blaze Bay. Yeah, you're probably looking at Meyer and Roman Anthony to start the conversation for Bobby Witt. Yeah, let's see 10 runs off of Chapman, huh? Let's see 10 runs off of him. Did you hear that, Chad? That was crazy. I should really keep this up here so it's not super annoying for you guys. But Meyer doesn't have the speed or the power that Bobby Witt does, though. Roman Anthony's an outfielder. And yeah, you definitely can do that. Yeah, he's still super skinny though. I think when you're looking at, I mean, look at Marcus Stroman, right? Look at the year he's having and the build he has. I wouldn't worry about his build too much, man. I wouldn't get hung up on that. And that's really, in my opinion, not really a reason to discredit Yamamoto's contract, to be honest with you. Like, again, I think Yamamoto comes into the league and he's a Cy Young candidate. I think that's his ceiling, right? He's a Cy Young winner. That's his ceiling. Yeah, but that's not happening. They're not going to go out. They're not going to go out. They're not going to trade for Bobby Witt. It's not because maybe the Red Sox don't want to. It's because there's no way the Royals give that up. No, Yamamoto has been significantly better than Senga in his career. Shota is very similar to Senga. Shota has very similar numbers to Kodai Senga. That's probably more what you're looking at comparison-wise. I have no idea if he has a brother or nephew. Not sure. This will be a big-time move from you, Devers. Come on, baby. That was a paint. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Wins to me don't really mean much in terms of how well a player's done. Yeah, they all did. But you can't push a 6-man rotation all year. You wear out the bullpen. You're taking an arm out of the bullpen to put him in the rotation. Not sure about that. I mean, that was a pitch you got to swing at, but... Yeah, you do. Over the course of 162 games, you definitely need it. Because you're not going to get 6 innings every game from your starters. No. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're gonna need. I mean, that's why you've got what 13 guys in your bullpen, right? How many times have I cried watching the Red Sox? I don't think I've ever physically cried. I was really upset when they lost in 21. I thought for sure. Yeah, you need 5+ to do that. Yeah, you're right. And I don't I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried watching the Red Sox. Maybe when I was younger, like 2011, I probably cried. Although I was 13, so maybe not. I think we're any Poppy's retirement was tough. Um, I'm trying to think. I don't know, man. Maybe 2008. They were 2009 maybe. It was one of those years where they were just really good and they just couldn't win. Yeah, but if you're gonna go with a 6-man rotation, you can't have all those guys in the pen. It's not how it works, right? You need to have one of those guys in the rotation. And that's what I'm saying here. Oh yeah, the X retirement was a good one. Yeah, I'm good with that. I've seen that a couple of times. Cry when Bloom got fired. Somehow I don't believe you. Error again. Ugh. There it is. Thought so. All right, Jack. Can the Red Sox bullpen hold this? I don't know. 13 on your pitching staff. There you go. So what? 13, 5, 8, 8, 8 in the bullpen seems a little bit lower than normal, right? 26-man roster. You've got the 8 guys on the field plus 3 guys on the bench. Yeah, I guess that's 11, right? Or is it 4 guys on the bench? All right, Mark, have a good one. So yeah, I think either way you cut it, it's tough to do a 6. There's a reason no other team's doing 6-man rotations in baseball. There's a reason it's not being done, and it's because, it's because you blow out the bullpen at some point, eventually, right? Because you take a man out, it's how it works over the course of 162. Well, the difference is, do you want to win a World Series? That's the difference, right? Competitive teams don't blow out their bullpens. There's your answer. I forgot Will Venable is now on the Rangers. I forgot about that. Remember him last year? That was he just sort of left. Yeah, but the Rays are also freaks. There's the difference. The Rays are the only team, and they don't have a 6-man rotation either. They just have a ton of arms. That's it. Yeah, the famous story of Bill Buckner. I don't think there's a Red Sox fan alive who hasn't heard that one yet. Hey, the Greenville Drive are your 2023 South Atlantic League champions. Good for them. What a trade for him would look like? It'd probably be pretty big. It would have to be a big trade. You would need to. Oh yeah, I did cry when Xander left. That's fair. That was I was distraught in that video. I was flat out distraught. Would someone who was alive want to tell a story of Bill Buckner? Billy Buckner. I think a first-hand account will be better. Uke left. Man, I don't even remember Uke leaving. I just remember being mad that Uke wasn't on the team anymore. But I didn't really, when I was younger, I didn't really understand any of the trading stuff. I just sort of watched the Red Sox, and when a guy wasn't on the team, I was like, where did the guy go? Someone's going to type it out for you, Jackson. I believe in this chat. Someone let him know. The Red Sox were up at the time, if I remember correctly, right? If I remember the story correctly. And that's what essentially tied the game, right? And then they won in extras. Yeah, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, Uke was a Yankee. People forget about that. And it was the World Series game. It was to win the World Series, too. I think we should add that in there. Man, Murphy does not have it tonight, chat. I'm reading the Alex Spear tweet. Oh, okay. There you go. There's the story. The Mookie Betts curse, I guess. The Mookie curse. Maybe, yeah. Hey, the Red Sox lose a World Series because of Mookie. They win a World Series because of Mookie. Now they're not competitive because no Mookie. Maybe we just need a Mookie again. That is so brutal. They replaced him defensively all year, but the manager left him in so he could be on the field when they won. Brutal. Like, that is... Oh, man. Imagine... Oh, God. I couldn't even imagine. Yeah, we just need a Mookie. And we're in business here. Any Mookie. Any Mookie will do. No, I know it's not a joke. I can't even imagine. Like, imagine being that manager. Oh. God damn. Imagine being the player on the bench that usually replaces them. And it's just like, dude, if I was in there, this game would be over. Man, they get Murphy after 11 pitches. Corey ain't messing around. He wants to ruin the Rangers' playoff chances. Beltre did always drop to a knee, but he also hit some tanks. I loved Beltre. Beltre had a good year for the Red Sox. He had a great year, actually. Oh, here comes Johnny Leverage. Oh, boy. Victor Martinez. I forgot about that. He's going to be a Hall of Famer for sure, right? Adrian Beltre. He played 1 year with the Red Sox. Led the league in doubles. Had 28 home runs, 102 RBIs, a 321 average, which is tied for the second highest in his entire career. 365 on base percentage. And a 561 slug. Good for a 131 OPS plus. Man, he had a great year that year. Oh, sorry, 141 OPS plus. Even better. 919 OPS. Man, Adrian Beltre, great player. Maybe he'll go into the Hall of Fame as a Red Sox. Man, imagine that. What year did they have Beltre? I don't know why they didn't re-sign Beltre. 2010 going into 11. Why didn't they sign Beltre? Was that the Agon year, Alex Gonzalez? When did Adrian Gonzalez come to the Red Sox? Am I right on that? Or was he already on the team? Were they ever on the team together? Boston. Yeah, 2011. I was right. Tie game, bottom of the seventh. 2 men on, no men out, and it is Johnny Schreiber coming to the mound. I think last night's game was so much shorter because there wasn't as many pitching intermissions. Pitching intermissions, is that the right word? That is ironic. Yeah, but they also, I don't know if it didn't want to pay him because they got Adrian Gonzalez that offseason. So that was well, now it's 5-4. Johnny Leverage, but ladies and gentlemen, I wonder if John Schreiber starts the year next year in AAA. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if he did. What's ironic? Where was that? Oh, ironically, Bill Buckner was interviewed before the game and said, "You just have to hope you don't make a game-losing error." That's brutal. Victor Martinez. Let me see what Victor Martinez did, by the way. Let me take a look at that. Because I remember Victor Martinez, actually. In 2009. He was here for, well, his full season was 2000. Same year as Beltre. Interesting. That's awesome, actually. 302 average, 20 home runs, 79 RBIs, 844 OPS, 122 OPS plus. Did he play any catcher for the Red Sox? I wonder if he did. Yeah, he did. He caught 110 games. Terrible defensively. Schreiber hasn't been very good at all, no. No, it says he played some first base, I think. Yeah, he played 14 games at first base, but he was mainly a catcher. He caught 110 games for him. Did he win a batting title? I think he might have. Let me see. No. No, never won a batting title in Detroit. Led the league in OPS in 2014. Came in second in MVP voting, but no. Yeah. All right, Jackson. Yeah, I'll see you next week for the last one of the 2023 season. Crazy. $4 years, $50 million. The Red Sox said no. And people say it was Chaim Bloom made the Red Sox cheap. Yeah, they were both 2010, which is hilarious. They're going to be off-season. They're going to be off-season streams, yeah. We'll probably take a week or two off in between season ending and postseason streams. But, yeah, we'll be streaming in the off-season. Probably every other week. Man, chat, my hair has been under a hat for so long. I'm going to get a haircut, and we're not wearing a hat over... We're not wearing a hat over winter break. So it's really literally what it is, right? It's just winter break. Oh yeah, we'll be doing a lot of hot stoves. We'll probably do a hot takes video actually next week too. Adrian Gonzalez or Anthony Rizzo, who would you guys rather have during that trade? I wonder what the Red Sox would have been like with Rizzo. Because when did Rizzo come up? Night, Jackson. I'm gonna say good night. It's making me tired. Trying to stay up. If this goes south here, we'll probably call it a day. If Garcia hits a tank or something, we'll call it a day. Yeah, Agon was pretty good for the Red Sox, honestly. What was 2007? Let me see. When did Adrian Gonzalez? Yeah, he only had 1 year with the Sox, I think. Let me see. Yeah, he only had 1 year with the Sox and he was traded in 2012. Yeah, he was good, man. 338. He had a 155 OPS plus. Jesus. He had a 410 on base percentage that year and 957 OPS. He only had 18 home runs, but he had 108 RBIs. That's crazy. He led the entire league in hits that year. 45 doubles, 3 triples. Yeah, Adrian Gonzalez did have some crazy years. The year before, 2009 with San Diego Padre, 162 OPS plus. How was he never in top 10 in MVP voting? He was once in 2010. Oh, he was 7th with the Red Sox, but man. He went over with Beckett, right? And Beckett kind of fell apart after the Red Sox a little bit, from what I remember here. Yeah, he did kind of fall apart after the Red Sox. Josh Beckett was so good, man. I miss Beckett. Maybe, Chad, maybe what we'll do for 10,000 subscribers is a 24-hour live stream. Thoughts? Just finish your homework. Let's go. My favorite non-Red Sox player growing up, it was not Edgar Rent. Yeah, Edgar Rent. Because now I don't even remember because I didn't really follow him that closely, but I would always, yeah, it was Edgar Renteria. And the reason for that, I'll tell you the story. Let me make sure this is the right one. Yep, it was Edgar Renteria. And the reason for that is because I started playing baseball. One, he was on the Red Sox in 2005. And I think that was the first year I kind of remember watching. And then I really remember him from, he had a deal with Wilson or something, Wilson or Rawlings, and he made a glove in Atlanta, I think. And that was when I first started, playing baseball. And so that was the glove I got. And that's why I loved Edgar Renteria. I've done a 24-hour. I played video games for 24 hours once, and I was able to get through it. So we'll just have to do something like that, where I just play video games with players or something. $36 hours straight once is insane. Yeah, I did 24 hours because I just want to see if I could do it. So I did 24. We'll start at 12. When would we start, chat? I feel like we'd start later at night. I feel like that's the move. Can't do that anymore. I think it'd be kind of fun for 10,000. Not eating's crazy. We'd have to eat and stuff, so that'd probably throw a wrench in things. But yeah, I played video games for 24 hours straight. Yeah, I just want to see because I love video games, and my I was in college, and my girlfriend went away on a spring break trip, and I couldn't afford to go on a spring break trip, so all my friends left, and I was just at home, and literally the only thing I had was 10 cans of chili that I'd gotten for 10 cents each. And I had some beef jerky that my girlfriend's dad got me. And I just played video games for 24 hours because I wanted to see because there was literally nothing else for me to do. No one was around. What game that I played like, I did Call of Duty. I did Apex Legends. I did Fortnite for a while. You're telling me, Mike, you stayed up for 7 days. A full week. No, because I had an Xbox at the time, so I couldn't have played at MLB The Show. I think it was probably 2019. No, it was 2020 because it was the pandemic was hitting. You did not stay up for an entire week, Mike. I don't think that's even physically possible. Yeah, 2020 was the first year in Xbox. I think even with Red Bulls, right? You just start hallucinating. You drive yourself crazy. Oh, yeah, it's 6-4. Thanks. Is it the top of the 8? All right, chat. So probably no video tomorrow. I got to do some things for my girlfriend's birthday this weekend. That was the best, man. When you had to buy that when you had to buy a memory card, you didn't. Honestly, sometimes it was even better because then you could play the game over again. Although sometimes it was wildly frustrating. Super Nintendo. I had the N64 for a while. I loved the N64. Yeah, but that's not even enough for 24 hours, man. There's no way you watched movies and did not move for an entire week. I don't even think that's humanly possible. You have 4 exams next week? Good luck, man. That sounds brutal. Oh, how do you... In college, you already have 4 exams? Jeez. That's wild. Yeah, but even... That's not even 24 hours worth of movies. Yeah, that's crazy. First month of college and you've got 4 exams? You exercise during quiet stream? Okay. All right. And all 4 of those you have an exam on the same week? That is ludicrous. What is PAX East? I don't even know what that is. I'm so bad at going to things. Let me see what it is. Is it a concert? Celebration? Oh. Does sound pretty cool, actually. I might bring my dad. Is it just video games? Do they have a Comic-Con in Boston? That's pretty cool. There's a 0% chance Story gets a hit here, right? 0. Okay, Mike. You say Kikuchi just got taken out of a game, and he said he thinks he'll be fine for next start after he left the game with cramps. The biggest revelation was that he said it may have been caused by only getting 11 hours of sleep last night instead of his usual 13 or 14. What? That's insane. I can't remember the last time I got 14 hours of sleep. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't even think I can fit. I used to be able to sleep a lot. Now I don't even think I can. Yeah, the yellow jerseys are nice, David. They're real nice. Maybe it's a bad translation, but the fact that he said 11 and then 13 and 14, what are you gonna, you know what I mean? Like, what could you possibly be confusing that with? Right? It's not like he said 1, 3, or 4. It's a good idea, David. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, when that new ballpark comes in, I might go down there and check it out. I think it'd be fun to look at. Yeah, I don't think so, Prodigy. Oh, man. It's usually my bedtime chat. I hate these East West Coast games. Everything should be tailored. Everything should be tailored to the East Coast, I've decided. I don't know. I feel like a new stadium would attract a pretty decent crowd. I think I slept for like 20 hours in high school once. Yeah, because they're an hour behind, so it's 8 o'clock start. Hey, man, if they're getting money to build it, might as well build it. That would be an awesome day, Tom. If you go to both of those, that'd be awesome. Bush is Bush is a stadium I want to see too. I love those Midwest stadiums. I don't know, it just feels good out there. That'll do it to you. Yeah, J-Rod. J-Rod's been incredible. I don't know what. He just flipped the switch, man. It's crazy. All right, chap. I think we're calling it a night, my friends. The fact that you guys stuck around this long is insane. A lot of you guys have been here the entire time. We're at 3 hours exactly right now. And I think that's a good spot, chat. I mean, the Red Sox aren't winning this game, let's be honest here. But it was a fun time. We got a lot in, man. We talked about the offseason. We talked about everything. We talked about quite literally everything we could possibly talk about. So the fact that you guys stuck around and talked with me through this was absolutely incredible. I mean, you guys are fantastic. I'm going to be so sad when we get to the end of the season and we're doing hot stove videos every other week as opposed to these once a week. Man, I'm going to miss them. If you're still here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, please heavily consider doing that. If you also haven't hit that like button yet, make sure you hit that like button. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. I'll probably see you guys Thursday. I might not make a video tomorrow. I'll think about it tonight. But either way, I'll see you guys in the